this is Julie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about some things I wish I would have known before I went back to college. First and foremost, what you should always remember, at the end of the day, college is a business. So if you are straight out of high school, I think it's okay for you to not know where you want to go. But don't allow them for you to have an undeclared major. So for a prolonged period of time, I would say that because you're paying for classes that are not going to go towards your degree. So that's just one way that they can make money off you. If you have a plan and you know where you want to go, let's just say you start at a junior college, which I did. I went to our local county college first, and then I transferred to a major university. Most of the time they have what they call a transfer list. So let's just say my major was social. I went and I looked up their transfer credits from our local county college. So you know that the classes that you're taking are going towards that degree. So, because there are some classes you can take that won't transfer over credit-wise to that major university. But if you do it that way, it will make your transition a lot more smooth. You will have credits, you know, that you can transfer over they will still accept it as a transfer credit. And that just kind of helps speed along the process. Rate My Professor is a great tool. So you go to ratemyprofessor.com, and I will put the link in the description. But if you use this, let's just say you have a Professor White, and you go and you look up Professor White at UTA College, and they have a rating. So it'll say on there, this professor is a easy grader, they're a hard grader, requires a lot of reading, test heavy, you know, if they require you to come to class or not. I feel like it's one of the best tools because you can make sure that you get a good teacher, make sure that you know, you pick a professor that's going to be helpful, that communicates well, that they're willing to help you. So I would suggest using Rate My Professor. Another thing, registering for classes. If they say that classes open up at on a specific date at a specific time, and even if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, get up, set your alarm, and go pick your classes. I would look in advance, and that's what I always did. I would begin looking in advance at the classes that are available, because the thing is, everybody's trying to register, and if you don't get up early, all the good professors get taken. So then you're just kind of left with whatever is left over. You don't want to be in that position, because especially if it's a class you're struggling, you want to make sure that you're picking those classes early. And if you have a subject that you struggle with, I do not suggest putting it off to the last minute like I did. Don't do that. You know, take those classes first so that you have time. You're not feeling rushed. Services the college or university you're at provides. I know our local county college here, they have great tutoring. They have a tutoring center where there's students come in and sign up and on a board, and they let you know like what subjects they are tutoring. But they also have like a reading and writing center. They have a science lab. They have a computer lab. They have a mathematics lab. So all of these subjects, they have like a dedicated tutoring lab where that's all they do. And that's important. Don't be embarrassed to do that. Go seek out the help that you need so that you can pass the class. And then I would say try to make friends in class. You know, if I'm stuck or struggling and maybe I'm not understanding, and it's, you know, directions, the rubric, hey, I'm struggling with this. Is anybody else struggling with it? Maybe do you understand it? You know, I think it's really important to have maybe finding someone who's in your major. So someone who's in your major befriend them. Because you're in the same major, you're going to have to take the same classes. So then maybe you can start picking the same classes, the same professors going forward, so that you will kind of have an unofficial cohort that you're taking all the same classes together. And I feel like it's good for support and also for networking purposes. And I think the last thing is just organization. Be organized. I know things right now, especially with COVID happening, education is just different. Make sure that, you're taking time for you. Be focused and organized. Go through your syllabus. What I showed my son, the best thing to do is go through your class syllabus and read like the major assignments, so that just look at it ahead of time so that you know like what's required, because it don't end. Look at all the major assignments, highlight them, what is asking you, familiarize yourself with them, but prior, because usually you'll get the syllabus, if they don't post it super late, a couple of days before the class actually starts. And then there's a course schedule. So the course schedule like goes by weeks and tells you what's due every week. It gives you all the due dates. And what I do is, and I wish I had one of my ones from a previous class, but every time I finish something, I just go in and check it off and write submitted on the date that I submitted it, just for, purposes of if anything happens, I have a record of when I submitted it, and that it was submitted. And I guess working ahead is something that I feel like is super helpful, because you'll never fall behind. I will also say keep your eye focused on the end goal, because sometimes school can get frustrating and monotonous, and you may kind of get burnt out. But if you can pace yourself and go at your own pace and do some things that, like I said, the self-care, finding friends, all of those things help, because you don't want to get, even when it's like, especially it's the last class, it always seemed like at the end of my undergrad, it was something that was a situation or a professor. It was just like really frustrating, and I'd be like, okay, this is the last class, but just push through, what I'm saying, this is the last one. And then it was kind of the same for my graduate classes. It was kind of frustrating at the end, but I was like, this is it, I'm done. You just kind of have to have that positive self-talk to kind of push you forward, so that you are not so that you don't quit and drop out. You fill out your FAFSA early. The government say they only have so much money. So, if you fill out your FAFSA early, you get the early money. So grants, like especially here in Texas, they have a FAFSA that's money from the state, not from the federal government. You can get the Texas grants. There's an undergraduate grant that you can get that will last you the whole time for your undergrad. So, fill out scholarships, do all of that stuff early, because the more money you don't have to acquire in loans. I have spent years in school now, and I actually don't have a lot of loan debt because of all of the scholarships that I got. So, and there's so many, first generation college student, like if neither one of your parents graduated from college, then you're considered a first generation college student. Minority scholarships, there are scholarships that are specific to your degree. There's scholarships that, like, if you're a single mother, all of those things. This is the end of the video, and if no one cares, remember I do. Have a great day. Go make someone smile.